Welcome back to Cigar Exploration USA. I'm excited to be here today. I've got this ALEC Bradley. This is a Magic Toast. I really like these ALEC Bradleys, but I've never had this one, so I'm looking forward to it. This is a Toro size. What I noticed about it is everything about it is just beautiful. It's got this beautiful cap. It's got to be a triple cap. The cigar band is just gorgeous. I love this tan border that goes against this leaf on the cigar. And the leaf is so unique looking as well. The construction seems great. I can't wait. This thing seems like it's going to be a great cigar. I'm going to get it cut, lit up, not going to waste any time. What are you guys drinking? What are you guys smoking today? I've got this STELLUM RYE to go with it as well. We'll see how it pairs. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. Get a V cut in here. All right. It smells like chewing tobacco and a barnyard. See how the cold draw is? Oh, wow. Yeah, getting that chewing tobacco thing, but also some fruit. I'm going with plum. I get plum a lot on cigars. All right, let's toast it up. Draw feels good. Everything seems fine with it. This STELLUM RYE is what they call in Pennsylvania a chairman's selection. So this is supposedly a $60 bottle that you're able to purchase for $30. So it is a blended. It is a blended rye, straight rye whiskeys. So it says it has juice from Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I'm breaking my Indiana rule, but I thought, what the hell, I want to try it. I've been getting into ryes a little bit more lately. I'm going to crack that thing in just a minute here. This just smells great. It has kind of a funk to it a little bit. So supposedly Magic Toast isn't what I thought or what most people would think it is. You think it's like a magical piece of bread that was toasted. I mean, when I bought this, I have a whole story about buying this cigar too, but when I bought this, that's what I thought it meant, but I looked it up. Starting to do the look up a little bit more than I used to. I used to kind of go in these things really blind, but I've been looking things up a little bit just to be a little more knowledgeable. And it's supposedly a liquor or alcohol drink, that was literally toasted. They did a toast, like you say, cheers, in a field in Honduras. And that's, yeah, I'm wearing this cigar already. I'm getting the leaf on my hand, the brownness from the leaf. It would try to just touch the cigar band. And that's supposedly what it was, a magical toast, like a cheers kind of a toast, not what you would think you'd think that's like the flavor profile would be Magic Toast. So, tons of cedar right out the gate here. It's got a lot of that chewing tobacco vibe. It's real smooth. It said this thing was, pretty highly rated, and it was, medium to full bodied. So far, I know I just lit it, but it's not very strong. Yeah, it's very easy to retro it. I'm definitely getting that plum vibe though in this thing. Some kind of a ripe red fruit on here. All right, before everybody leaves, let's get this STELLUM in a glass here. So it looks like a wine bottle. It's got a pull tab on there, and then this part just pops right off. And it's got looks like a wood cork, a real cork. It's one of those little corks. Looks like a lot like a wine bottle. I was driving this thing home from the liquor store a couple of weeks ago and had to hit the brakes real hard. And it was sitting on my back seat along with some other bottles, and it literally flew forward and smashed onto the floor behind the driver's seat. I thought for sure it was broke. It seems like a very thin kind of bottle, but hey, didn't break, so that's already good luck. All right, so we got some in a glass. This says World Spirits Competition, double gold. Looks like it's from 2021. So here's the label. Yeah, nothing too impressive with the label, but I'm just hoping the juice is good. Being that it's a blended rye, I'm assuming there's 3 different ryes because it comes from 3 different states. It says it's a cask strength blend of straight rye whiskeys. And it's 58.12%, so it's 116.24 proof. So 116 proof. See if you can see that there. So we'll see what we got. 30 bucks in my Pennsylvania liquor store. If it's decent, it'll be worth it. I think we're kind of at the end of the expensive bourbons. I think we may be at the end of the bourbon kind of whole bubble thing, as they call it. All right, so it's not giving me a lot on the nose. It smells like a rye. There's a little more. All right, so we gotta let it sit for a minute. Let it breathe. Go back to this Magic Toast cigar. Paid about 11 bucks for this cigar. It's a pack of matches. Found a new cigar shop that I really like. Guys running it, real friendly, real knowledgeable. Figured I would give them a little shout out here. You know, being that they took their time and let me walk through their giant humidor. I'm hoping to make a video about that humidor sometime soon. It's really great. They got a really clean, smooth, nice operation out there. They do what a lot of these places are doing, these big places. And like Cigars International, if you buy 5 sticks, you get the 6th one free. They do that as well. Buy 5, you get the 6th one free. And they had a hell of a selection out there, stuff I had never seen before. Now, I've been to these big places like Cigars International and, you know, been on their websites, Cigar Page and Fox Cigars and these places, but walking through that humidor up at Cigars International is ridiculous. You know, the whole building's a humidor. So they could have easily had this Magic Toast cigar and I just missed it. But they have a lot of stuff at that Cigar Plot. That I had never seen before. Big humidor, good prices, reasonable. Sample packs, you know, kind of like these big places do where they put 10 cigars into a Ziploc with a humidor pack and, you know, sell you a sample pack. So these guys are kind of taken after those places. So if you're anywhere near the area, you look it up on the map, the address was there. I highly recommend checking that shop out. Good parking, safe neighborhood. All right, so cigar is good. It's not blowing me away. I mean, I don't know that I expected it to. ALEC Bradley's got good stuff. I mean, they're on the level of everything else that's premium. So definitely good. Good draw. Great construction. I'm getting something that I can't quite put my finger on as well. Yeah, it's that fruit, which is actually nice. It's pretty nice, actually. Yeah. Something different. But it's not, if you're looking for toast, you know, like a rye or a sourdough toast, or it doesn't have that, because that's not what it actually means, even though a lot of people would think that's what it means, you know. It's got a really, I mean, this cigar band is killer. Which is part of the reason I was attracted to this stick so much. That and it's an ALEC Bradley. Always looking forward to trying another ALEC Bradley. It sure is leaving a lot of, you know, brown. Not sure exactly what that is. Tobacco, juice. It's happened to me with other sticks. All right, these videos get so long. I mentioned earlier, if people leave, they don't stick around. Let's try this this rye, see what we got here. See if my chairman select, somebody at PA Fine Wine and Spirits, picked this thing. See if these guys have a clue what they're doing. All right, here we go. Okay, it's got a lot of cola vibes. Cola, caramel. It's like, it tastes like caramel cola and some rye spice. It's a little thin in the front. When you put it in your mouth, it feels real thin. Then it has a nice middle and finish, nice middle and end. It is cask strength, almost, you know, 100. It's 116 proof, so it's definitely drinking like it. Right out the gate, my judgment is it was worth it. Now, if you want to judge this on, you know, just the juice on 4 criteria, you want to judge it on nose, and then front, middle, and back on the finish. The nose and the front are a little weak, but the middle and the back are good. Definitely wouldn't be upset if somebody gave me a pour of this. Strong, 116 proof, that's strong. I had some Kentucky Owl Wiseman rye on my channel recently. That's 100 proof. This drink's a little hotter than that, but it definitely competing for a $30 bottle. Yeah. It's gonna be a little bit for me to be able to really tell you if this stick is an $11 cigar. I'm sure you can get them for less. This was just a single stick, but I did get one for free. This could have been the free one, so maybe it wasn't even 11, but it's gonna be a couple minutes here till I can give you a real assessment of both these things. But I'd say out the gate, this is a $10, $11 cigar. It's a Toro size, so it's not small. It tastes and smells great, great construction. And I'd say for this rye, 30 bucks all day. If you can get it for 30, I don't know that it's a $60 rye. I don't think so, but for 30 bucks, absolutely. Yeah, you get very little spice, but almost getting like it's turning into, so this is weird. This is weird. This stuff happens to me sometimes. Like I said, if you can hang in here for 13 minutes, this will happen. When I did the retro there with the cigar, and maybe it's because I drank the rye, and I don't know if it's because it says magic on here and it's my brain's being all tricked, but I literally tasted like Lucky Charms, like cereal from when you were a kid. Some of you may still eat that now, but it had a dry Lucky Charms vibe. Like when you smell the cereal before you put the milk on it, you smell like that imitation marshmallow and like that grainy smell of the cereal and like the sweetness, of course. And that's what I got on the retro there, which was pretty cool. So I don't know if I'm just out of my mind or if the plum turned into Lucky Charms, but they're magically delicious. I mean, this cigar, it says magic on it. The burn line sure is magical. It's perfect. Everything seems real nice about this. Yeah, there it is again. That's really interesting. That's nice. That's different, interesting, and nice. I mean, unless you hate that particular flavor profile. Wow, that's fascinating. So I got about an inch in until I discovered something like that. That's what I'm here for. That's why I'm exploring things. I hope I'm right about the whole magic toast thing. I hope it's not supposed to be a flavor. I hope it's actually an event that happened, like I said. Now all I want to do is retro every puff because I want to get that fruity, sweet cereal flavor. That was pretty amazing. Let me see if I drink a sip of rye, if it intensifies that. Maybe the rye with the caramel and the cola, maybe that has something to do with it. I'm getting on the nose is getting better. I'm getting more rye spice on the nose. Definitely more, it's not really butterscotch, it's like caramel. But my brain gets confused on those two, butterscotch and caramel. Sometimes I confuse them. Yeah, the nose is getting better, but the first, you talk about first, second, and thirds of cigars. Whiskey's like that too. The first third in the mouth, it hits your tongue, and your brain says, this is some thin, your brain does not think it's rye, and it does not think it's 116 proof. My brain says, what is this? This is some weak stuff. And then the second third kicks in right away, where it hits your back of your tongue, and then my brain goes, okay, now we're talking. You've got some rye in your mouth. And then the third, the back throat swallow is strong because it's cask strength, 116. So yeah, so far so good. These things are pretty good. Yeah, that is crazy. That is a sweet, fruity cereal taste on there. And that went from, and I'll be honest now, I mean, I'm always honest, but honesty is interesting because if you don't say something, you're not really being dishonest. But in the beginning, when I got it out of the package before I put the camera on, it was underwhelming. I got barnyard and chewing tobacco, which is good. That's fine. I mean, I'm not chucking this thing. I'm smoking it either way, but I was kind of underwhelming. I kind of expected big things out of this. And since then, things have started to heat up a little bit here because I'm getting some good stuff out of here now. What an interesting leaf on here too. I didn't look into what kind of leaf this is, what kind of wrapper it is, but I don't think it's a Maduro. It might be a Habano. It might be a Habano leaf. It's got an interesting color. I don't know if anybody wants to see that, but like from me drooling on the cap, see how it's like different colors? It's different color there. It's got a nice cap on it. And then the leaf itself, I mean, it's just a very interesting looking leaf. It's nice. Just seems very high quality, which that's what you expect from these guys, right? That's what we expect from ALEC Bradley. It's amazing though, after doing this, exploring cigars, and then just happenstance happened where I paired them with spirit, with liquor, whiskeys. I never heard of this cigar. I never knew it existed. And I showed it to my friend. He was like, what did you get? He's the one that told me about that cigar shop. So the guy that told me about it, he's like, what did you get? And I showed him what I got. He's like, oh, Magic Toast. I've been wanting to get one of those. And I didn't even know about them. And then I was watching this guy, and I'm going to mess this up because I always do this because I don't take any notes, which I should probably do that too, but I don't know. I kind of like to just keep it kind of off the cuff out here, but I think his channel is like Cigar Vlog, something. He was smoking a Quorum, and it was a Quorum Havana, like Havana, Cuba, but it was made in some other place. It wasn't from there. And I've smoked Quorums and I was into Quorums for a while, and never did I see that cigar. Never heard of it, never saw anybody review it, explore it, whatever. So it's literally, this is one of the most amazing things I've ever undertook in my life. And for no other purpose except that I can't believe how much variety there is. Like how many cigars there are. Like how many cigars, good ones too. And I was watching a video on YouTube about how Cuban cigars, before the embargo in 58 or 59 or 60, whatever year it was, 1958 or 1959, 1960, when I guess Kennedy said no more stuff from Cuba, cigars, whatever else we were getting from there. But these cigars, or Cuban cigars, I mean, were the premier premium cigar in the world. That was it. You either were smoking a Cuban or you were smoking some piece of shit, you know, from what I understand from this documentary I watched. And then the best thing happened ever, which is the embargo. You would think that was bad for cigar smokers, but really what that did was made all these people work harder. Don't get me wrong, people suffered because of that, I'm sure, and I appreciate that, I respect that. But all these people took their seeds, went to Honduras, went to the Dominican Republic, went to Nicaragua, and all these places, and created this whole industry now that I'm talking about, where I don't know that I'll ever be able to smoke every cigar, every premium cigar that's out there. I don't know that I'd literally be able to do it. It would be an undertaking like none other. And I'm obviously documenting my smoking of cigars, you know. But what they did was they opened up a global industry. Our country, I guess, but because of the embargo, made it so that there's just now so many choices. And the pricing is reasonable. I mean, you get $11 cigar. This is a Honduran cigar, as far as I know. Because from what I understand, Cuba just took over all the businesses, all the cigar businesses. They just said, nope, these are now government property, and they're ours, essentially. And so all the people that own those businesses or had, you know, worked those businesses, the families, took their shit and left and went to other countries and started new cigar businesses there, which is why we have so much stuff. So just from those three, Nicaragua, Honduras, and Dominican Republic, there's just three countries that I don't know that you could smoke all the cigars from, you know, every cigar and every line from those places. It's awesome. You know, and I'm in my 40s, so, you know, I could have found cigars many years ago. I could have found cigars 25 years ago, but I didn't. I only found them about a year ago, a little more than a year now. But I think if I had to make an educated guess based on what I've been learning and what I know about the cigar business, is this is the best time to smoke cigars. The best time of any time period is now. I mean, and maybe that only is true for America. I mean, we know where I live. But, you know, our cigar prices are really reasonable compared to other places especially. And I just love when I get a notification from a channel I'm subscribed to, like that, hopefully it is Cigar Vlog. When I get a notification and I see a Quorum, Havana Quorum. It's got a red label, a red cigar band. Where'd that guy get that cigar? Did he make that band up? Like, that's just so cool. I've never seen them anywhere. I've never seen a Quorum with a red band on it like that. Maybe they're new. They could be new. About 20 minutes into this thing, and it is just holding up beautifully. It's got a beautiful ash. I've been cranking on this thing. I get comments from people, they're like, slow down, you smoke so fast. I've been hammering this thing, and the burn line has not changed, moved, is perfect. The ash on this thing is perfect, and it's burning nice and slow. What a great quality cigar right here, with great flavors too. That took I had to get an inch or more into it in order to really get that incredible flavor. Sorry about that trash truck noise. Retro's getting a little bit spicier, and I'm not getting quite as much of my Lucky Charms that I was getting there, but it's still there. I suspect it's gonna go away. Getting more chewing tobacco kind of vibes on the retro, which is increasing that strength, and then the sweetness is kind of dissipating a little bit. You know, that sweetness, that natural sweetness that I'm getting. Wow. This thing is amazing though. Yeah, this is definitely a cigar I would smoke again, and definitely is worth $10, you know, in my opinion. Leave me a comment, let me know, you know, I want to know what you're drinking and smoking, of course, but let me know if you've seen these where you live. Like if you live, I'm in Pennsylvania, if you live somewhere else, other states, you know, let me know what you're paying for these, what you think about them, if you got that sweet cereal, Lucky Charm vibe on this thing at all, like I did, or, I mean, these are all subjective. It's all about, you know, I didn't eat any Lucky Charms today, so it's not from that. Wow, that's really nice. I'm gonna ash it. I could keep going. This thing is rock solid. I could keep going on this, but I'm gonna ash it. Keep things nice and tidy around here. God, it's just resting on the ash, in the ashtray, like it doesn't even bend. I don't know if that's a great sign, a good sign, if it's just, but it's an incredible ash on there. This rye's getting better. It says, driven by progress, critical thinking, and above all, attention to detail. So it says it's bottled by STELLUM Spirits in Louisville, Kentucky, and again, distilled in Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee. So I have to assume there's 3 ryes in here. Cask strength blend of straight rye whiskeys. So, I mean, it's got to be 3 different ryes. Could be more. Could be more than 3. The bottle took a good beating in my car, I'll tell you that, when it flew 3 feet off the seat and smashed onto the floor with a bunch of other bottles that seem tougher than this one, but yeah, it survived. Yeah, I'm sticking with my story on this rye. Starts weak, finishes good. $30, sure. Pull the trigger if you're a rye person. Especially if you like blended. So, you know, single barrels are great, right? But sometimes blends are awesome. Sometimes blended, you know, bourbon, blended ryes are awesome. This is one it's getting close to being awesome. It's okay right now. It's got a big cola vibe though. If you like cola, which is a big describer of rye, you know, if it has a cola, got a big cola on the nose. By cola, like it smells like a flat Coca-Cola or a flat Pepsi. Probably more like a Coca-Cola. Those of you out there that have a preference will probably are screaming at me going, they're not the same, you gotta pick one. It's Coca-Cola. Yeah, big cola vibe, caramel, little rye spice. Yeah, it's good. Should I ash it, or what should I do? I don't want to, but I don't want to wear it either. There it goes. Should have gone with my instinct. It's all right. At least it's on the table and not on my lap or my shoes. Yeah, I've been trying to straight cut some of these. You know, some cigars I smoke that are round cigars. You know, this is just a round cigar. It's not box pressed. Been trying to straight cut them, but I'm a V-cut guy now. I've just become, I'm all in on the V-cut, no matter what the shape of the cigar is, especially on torpedoes or perfectos or box press cigars. Definitely V-cut those. But even on these, even on a round, regular shaped cigar, I just think the V-cut's better. Any comment, let me know how you like to cut cigars. I punch cut cigars sometimes too, which I like. I don't have a punch cutter, my buddy has one. Got some really good stuff coming up. Anybody hanging in there with me right now, just give me a few days, something like that. I'm gonna be putting out some serious stuff, some serious whiskey and some serious cigars. Not that this isn't, you know, cigar is definitely the star of the show here, but wow, it's really good. Really good, really interesting, really different, and really nice. Yeah, I'm hoping that this tariff situation going on, and it's been going on for months and months now, doesn't end up affecting cigars. You know, I was just talking about how great they are and how inexpensive, you know, in America, but this tariff thing could screw everything up. I certainly don't want that to happen. You know, if you got to pay 30-40% on a $10 cigar, now it's a $13-14 cigar. Still probably, compared to a lot of places, very reasonable, but I like when they're 10 bucks or less, for sure. All right, let's let this thing cool down a little bit. Get a little more whiskey in this glass. Do something about this ash real quick. All right, not too bad. Let's get rid of it. Out of sight, out of mind. Okay, nice and clean again. Well, kind of. Porch is messed up, but at least the table's clean. Mostly clean. Okay. Yeah, so double gold in 2021 in San Francisco. I guess that's where the World Spirits Competition is held every year. Never really got into much of that. Never really cared about what, you know, people rate things or whatever. I like to sort of make my own path and form my own opinion about stuff. But, I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt when, excuse me, people say it's good. Can't be a bad thing, right? Does it say gold? Double gold. Wow, double gold. That's a big, I'm assuming that's a big prize. I'm assuming double gold is, that's as good as it gets, right? Doesn't it sound like it's as good as it gets? Double gold? One would assume. Double gold sounds pretty good to me. Sounds pretty prestigious. I was trying to hide my black shirt, and now I got the sun just right on my back. I've said this before a million times, but when you leave a little whiskey in your mouth and you take a draw off the cigar, man, that's good stuff. There ain't much better than that. That is so good together. Wow. Awesome. I had some crazy dreams last night. You ever have one of them nights where you just dream and your dreams are just bonkers? Like just out of control, crazy, weird dreams. Stuff that makes no sense. I can't really explain it, except it's like you ever dream you're like in high school, but you've been out of high school for like a million years. You're in high school, but it don't make no sense. Nothing makes any sense. That was like the main part of my dream. I don't know if that's like a wimpy part of your self-conscious, where you're back to those days of where you had no responsibility and barely any cares in the world. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that. I'm sure there's some explanation for why you dream about high school. It wasn't a bad dream. It's just it's just a weird, crazy dream. I think that's why I never got into drugs, because I think, like serious drugs, like acid or whatever is crazy drugs to you. Because it's like when you do those kind of drugs, it's like you're dreaming while you're awake. And dreams freak me out enough, let alone being awake and dreaming. Yeah, I don't want to do that. That's what drugs. That's how a non-drug taker would describe drugs, is dreaming while you're awake. Well, I hate to take this beautiful cigar band off here, but it's time to take it off and show it off. Yeah, this thing is just awesome. Like, look at that. Look at the detail in there. Just awesome. It was obviously all the way like this. So all that nonsense you see, that's all like the glue or the pectin, all that was covered up. It's all raised lettering, and I love that tan sort of border around it, and just against the cigar leaf, the cigar wrapper, that band looks so nice on there. I mean, listen, these guys know what they're doing, you know? They're selling cigars. This is a business. They know there's people like me that are going to see this cigar band in a cigar shop and pull the trigger just because of that. Now, I know ALEC Bradley's good because, I mean, I started with the Prensado from them. So, I mean, I know they got good stuff. That was never a question, but I had other choices. Remember, the cigar shop I told you about, they got a lot of variety. There was a couple of different ones. I almost bought the Gatekeeper. Anybody smoke a Gatekeeper? Let me know in the comments if you ever had a Gatekeeper from ALEC Bradley. I'm definitely going to be back over to that store. Don't you roll away. I want you. Don't go nowhere. I keep the cigar bands from cigars that I like. So if I really like the stick, like this one qualifies, the band goes in a little bag or whatever, Ziploc bag, so that way I can always remember that I smoked it. And it's not always if I make a video either. There's cigars I've smoked with friends or at a lounge, and I take the band and put it in the bag so that I remember I liked it. Yeah, this thing, that sweetness has gone away a little. It has. It's still there. It's more like kind of like a little lingering touch of it with that cereally graininess. And you're still getting the chewing tobacco. And you still have the barnyardiness, which is kind of like, and I talked about this, and this might not be the most exciting thing for a lot of people, but it's like kind of smells like poop and hay, dirt, maybe some feed, which may be the graininess, like horse feed. If you've ever been to a farm and seen feed and maybe smelled it, it's kind of like that. It's almost like a cereal-y kind of smell. Yeah, this thing is nice. Real nice. Today's a good day for me. I got a lot of good stuff going on. I already know I'm smoking something else later tonight. I'm gonna smoke a nice Oliva G tonight. So I already got that lined up, which is, you can't smoke this and then smoke something. You gotta smoke something good. You can't go backwards. I know the G will hold up to this for sure. Gotta leave me a comment. Let me know what you're up to, what you're drinking, what you're smoking. If you've had this stick, what your favorite ALEC Bradley is. If you've had this STELLUM RYE, comment. Please leave me comments. I love them. It's like my second favorite part of making these videos. Exploring cigars and whiskey's my first, and then reading comments is my second. Remember, stay tuned. Be coming out with some good stuff soon. Cheers.